Peace, peace, peace. What it is? This is your brother Tavon Swinell, aka the Orthodox Moore, aka Brother Moore. And real quick, I'm doing a video for the Christian sister on a Speaker's Corner named Kay, Soco Films. She's a Christian sister at the park I respect quite a bit, and I've been in her chats lately. And whilst I was in her chat, I heard her mention something about a video she had priorly done with the Mohammad Hijab, where they talked about the age of marriage in the Quran and what it would be if what it would be like if you just went by the Quran alone, and how that would look, etc. So real quick, I'm going to play a couple of video clips and then get into a quick presentation. Sister K, I know I heard you say that you only rock with 10-minute videos, and anything longer than 10 minutes you can't really deal with. So I'm going to do my best to run through this really, really fast. But all the references will be on the screen, so you can pause it up if need be, if I'm going too fast for you. But without further ado, here we go.
But I'm only kidding. Right, so yeah, Omar was just saying to me, oh, those Saudis, we don't care what they say. So maybe that's why. If they throw out the Hadith, that's not, there are Quran-only Christians, Quran-only Muslims. However, Mohammad Hijab affirmed what he said to me. He said, you're right, Kay, if we only go by the Quran, you are allowed to sleep with minors. So that's pretty damaging for Islam. Well, they've got away with it for 1400 years.
And this is the video that she's referring to, or at least the clip of the video she's referring to. And I have the videos linked down below. I have the live stream she was just on, that the link down below. I have the clip I'm about to play from with her and Mohammad Hijab. I think the short and the long clip of it. And then I also have a very long response I did a long time ago to some apologists talking about this. For people who can actually watch the longer videos and whatnot, I have no issue with that. But here's Mohammad Hijab right quick.
If you only took the Quran, you're right. If the Quran was the only thing, I have a video on this with Quran aloners. If you only looked at the Quran, based on the verse on the Quran 65:4, yes, it would be permissible to have sex with minors.
A little bit promo for UK, yeah. If you're not familiar with Speaker's Corner, definitely go subscribe to K Soco Films. You'll get a good idea what Speaker Corner is all about. Like I said, she's definitely my favorite Christian at the park. She's a very sincere sister and whatnot. But with that, let me get off into this presentation. There is no child marriage authorized in the Quran. I'm going to run through a basic Quranist methodology right quick. Surah 39, ayah 23. Allah has sent down the best hadith, the best statement, a consistent book wherein is reiteration. So the Quran is the best hadith, and within it there is reiteration. We got Surah 25, ayah 33. The Quran is the best tafsir. We bring you the truth and the best explanation, or the best tafsir. So the Quran is the best hadith and the best tafsir. If you're in doubt as to what's coming down in the Quran, as the best hadith and best tafsir, the Quran advises you to go to the people of the previous scripture, or the reminder that was given beforehand for clarity. So this is where I differ from most Quranists, in the sense to where I'm not a Quran alonist. I'm a Quranist in the sense where I reject the hadith. However, via the instructions of the Quran, if I want clarity for anything, I go to the previous scripture as is instructed. Along with that, you'll see that in Surah 5, ayah 48, where it stipulates that the Quran came down confirming everything that came down before it in the scriptures, and is a guardian over it. And it says, so judge between them by what Allah has revealed. So the Quran advises me to judge between the Quran and the previous scriptures to get a clarity. And ironically, most Christians don't know this, but I'm going to give this one for free right quick. It specifies in Surah 5, ayah 48, to each of you we prescribed a law and a method. What it says there in Arabic is Sharia and Manhaj. So it literally says that in this chapter that Jews, Christians, and Muslims have their own sets of Sharia, different sets of Sharia. And just to clarify, this is the stance on why most Quranists don't take the hadith, because the Quran says this in 3 different ayats. So in what hadith or what statement hereafter will they believe? It goes also to say here in Surah 45, ayat 6, these are the verses of Allah which we recite to you in truth. Then in what statement or what hadith after Allah and his verses will they believe? So anything but the scripture of Allah is not considered, or I'll say like the scripture of Allah is the only thing considered the hadith of Allah. And I don't expect you to accept like Allah writing the Torah or the Bible, etc. whatnot. But I'll just say this. So the scriptures of God are the hadith of God. Again, in Surah 77, ayah 50, it says, then in what statement after it being the Quran will they follow or will they believe? But getting off into it, Surah 65, ayat 4. This is a ayat about divorce and menstruation and how it plays a part in divorce. And I'm going to run through this really quick. But the typical issue is people are trying to stipulate that this verse, when it's talking about those who have not menstruated, is talking about prepubescent children. And nothing could be further from the truth, and that will be clearly shown via the Arabic of this verse and other verses of the Quran. What is talked about is women every single solitary time. But real quick, and those who no longer expect menstruation among you, this has to deal with divorcing women. Menstruation among your women, if you doubt then their period is 3 months. That's the iddah, the waiting period. And also for those who have not menstruated. And for those who are pregnant, their term is until they give birth, and whoever fears Allah, he will make for him of his matter ease. Going further, we see this waiting period talked about again in Surah 2, ayat 228, and this is where you get the reiteration from the Quran and clarity from within the Quran as the first step in understanding it. It says, divorced women remain in waiting for 3 periods, and it is not lawful for them to conceal what Allah has created in their wombs if they believe in Allah in the last day. So the whole reason why there's a waiting period is because it's unlawful to conceal a pregnancy if you are divorcing. And when you want to get into, if you want to get into it, the reason for that is because a man is supposed to support the woman and pay for the child, etc., etc., etc. There's a whole bunch of stuff of that in the Quran. I can get into that in a whole nother conversation. But there's 3 groups of women in the first verse and 3 groups of women in this verse here, or the same groups of women in the sense to where in Islam or in the Quran, there's a waiting period for the women who've been touched. But if you have not been touched, or if the marriage has not been consummated, there is no waiting period. And we see that in Surah 33, ayat 49. When you marry believing women and they divorce them before you have touched them, then there is not for you any waiting period to count concerning them. So provide for them and give them a gracious release. Untouched women have no waiting period. Now here's where we get into the clear Arabic of what it could say, of what it could or what it should say if it's going to talk about prepubescent children. Surah 24, ayat 58. All you who have believed, let those whom your right hand possess, and what that should say, and I'll get into that in a whole nother video, is those ruled by their oaths, and those who have not yet reached puberty among you. Ding, ding, ding. There is a way to say those who have not yet reached puberty among you. And it's right there on the screen below. I'm not going to get into all that. You got the references right there. But to reiterate that, there's another, again, it's reiterated one more time. Surah 24, ayat 59, the next verse. And when the children among you reach puberty. So you have the Arabic there for children and them reaching puberty. This Arabic is not used anywhere in the verse of Surah ayat 64 or 65:4, excuse me. It does not mention children, and it does not mention those who have not yet reached puberty at all. And there's a clear way of saying both. It mentions women both times, or it mentions women in 65:4. Let's see. I'm running up on my 10-minute time limit. So I'm going to cut this one real super short and just give the reiteration here. That 65:4 mentions menstruation of 3 groups of divorcing women. The 65:4 doesn't mention prepubescent children in Arabic in any way, shape, or form. The 65:4 only mentions women, again, who have been touched. Surah 24, ayat 58 through 59 uses clear Arabic for prepubescent children. Surah 2, ayat 228, again, shows that divorced women can't conceal a pregnancy. Surah 33, ayat 49 shows that untouched divorced women have no waiting period. So with that, I'm at the limit of my 10 minutes, sis. I hope that made sense. List any questions you have below. Hopefully we can talk about this further. I'm going to make a couple other videos talking about a couple other topics, but I'm trying to keep this one short and sweet just for you, sis. So with that, I say peace and love.